Good morning, booth builders. All right, so today is Sunday. Definitely gonna have to be the final day of the booth build. All right, I've just got a few panels to put on, and then I'm going to glue on all the acoustic treatment, and then job is done. So I've started off today with fitting this. I just had to file away here a little bit on this panel, and then that's fitted in there nicely. And now I'm going to do the same thing for this top piece here, and then also this piece all the way down down the bottom. All right, so we're getting there. Okay, so I've just been to the garage and cut this piece, and now I'm gonna fix it. See, what my plan is to have a little bit overlapping here so that it acts as a sound barrier for the door. Okay, so that's in. Let's test it. Cool. So you see how this overlaps the door. So we do have a soundproof seal there. I'm going to do the same along the bottom, same along the top. And then that's it, dudes, we're getting there. Okay. Look at that. I'm quite happy with my magnetic strips. They're actually holding it well. Cool. I mean, don't forget there's also a negative pressure in here as well, which is why it's a little bit harder to push it out, because you know it has to take the air from the air inlet to actually open. So we have a little bit of a pressure thing there until the air comes through the door. It's all good. Okay, so now I'm going to measure the next piece for the top sections, get those done, and then the last two bits I just spoke about. Looking good. Alright, so I've cut this piece and now I'm going to fit it. Unfortunately this one broke in half when I lifted it, but it's still okay to use, I think. See, you can see there it kind of split. Well, it's got what I have to do. I measured that correctly. It's 80 centimeters. Oh my god. From top to bottom. Okay. 79.5, thank you. Fucking hell. Alright, so I'm going to have to file off 5 millimeters. Alright, let's do that then. God, it's so frustrating. Okay, so I've filed it down. Now let's see if it fits. A bit tight. But we'll take it. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Right, let's screw that in. Super duper. Now the next piece. Oh yes, I've cut it already. Oh yeah. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I mean, it's not flush, you know, I mean, it sticks out a little bit, but who gives a shit? As long as it does its job, I'm not too worried about the aesthetics. Not at this stage. So now I'm going to test the door. Oh, yes. So you see here, where it's overlapping the door. Yeah? As the door comes in, overlaps. So if there's any sound trying to get in through those gaps, it hasn't got a chance. And you can see in here it's really quite echoey now because we have no sound treatment. And see, it doesn't quite line up in places like this, you know, and also here. But you know, as long as it's practical and does the job, I don't really care, because I'm going to have foam over here anyway pretty soon. Cool. So now I'm just going to put my final bits on. I've got a bit to put on the top, and that bit down there, that looks like a long way down, but that bit down the bottom, and then we're done. Then we are done. Okay, I've got the penultimate piece. It's actually raining outside, so it got a little bit wet when I was transporting it from my workshop, aka the garage, but that'll fit nicely up there. But I have to just strip this back. Look at that, took off the paper with it. Don't bring the paper with you, mate. Oh, no. Got my knife in here? No. Alright. So I'm lucky that there's just a little bit of wood poking out there for me to screw it into. Okay, so I need to just, whoop, shit me. Oh, fuck's sake. Hey. I need to cut off this little bit of rubber. Anyway. There we go. Up at an angle. Oh yes. Cut, you swine. There we go. Alright, cool. That's that piece. Not very straight, but who cares? Looking good, eh? So now we have the final piece of this big jigsaw puzzle to go into place for the finish. Come and join me down there. This is the last piece that's going to go on. Of course, it doesn't fit. Kurvanya. So a little bit of filing first. That's a bit of an anticlimax. Okay, very exciting. Got it fitted. Need to screw it in now. And there we have it, the final piece fitted to the jigsaw puzzle that is this booth. Whee! Oh, wow, that's a relief. Now what I've got to do is just put the foam on, which is easy. It's like a decorating the house after you've built it. Ah, fantastic. Well, it's been a pleasure, but now let's get on with some voiceover. Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea, Richard, but before we do that, let's just have a look at the inside. So as you can see, all fully constructed. No acoustic foam on the inside just yet. That's coming up next. There's the door. Give it a quick pull and let's have a look at what it looks like. Completely closed. Awesome. There it is. Nice little box to do some voiceover in.
I am now inside my fully completed booth, and as you can hear, it is really reflective. It really sounds like I'm in a chamber, a tomb. So now the thing to do is to stick the foam on and do the acoustic treatment. I don't have any like magic sound devices to measure the difference in sound between in here and out there, and what it's going to be like with the foam in it. So that's why I'm doing this test now, just to show you this is what it sounds like without the foam, and then we'll do another one with the foam a bit later on. So that'll be interesting, and have a listen. I've got the traffic going on outside. I mean, I've got tinnitus, so unfortunately I hear lots of noise, but for you, have a good old listen, and if you can't hear anything, then it's doing a good job. Let me know. Place it in the comments below. Okay, so I'm now going to get on to putting the foam in. The last and final, well, it's not the last and final job, is it? Because then I've got to move my stuff in and make it my own space. But it's the last kind of construction. Okay, so as I always say, let's do it. These, just in case you're wondering, are what's called bass traps, and they're bloody huge. I didn't expect them to be as big as they are, but basically bass traps need to be big because they have to absorb the energy from a bass sound wave, a low frequency sound wave, which are like a lot, you know, the wave has a long wavelength, so it needs to absorb a lot of energy in that. So I'm going to put these all the way along the edges. I also have these ridiculously huge cubes to go into the corners. Alright guys, now's the time for the big reveal. I have finished everything, absolutely everything. So here is the beautiful exterior of the booth. And now let's have a look at the beautiful interior of the inside. Be my guest, come on in. Squeaky hinges because the door is extremely heavy. But coming into my voice domain. Okay, so now we are inside my fully sound treated booth, and I don't know if you remember what it sounded like before, but it was very reflective. But now in here, not a whisper, nothing, no reflections, anything. but it's not, I don't know whether you call it dead or not. I'm not a sound engineer, but I reckon it sounds fucking good. You know, if you imagine this, you know, being recorded on a microphone, you know, a proper mic in a proper situation, I think it'll sound bloody good. Anyway, this is what it is. I've got my thermometer over here where I can turn on my my ventilation. I've got these heavy duty bass traps here, and they also go all the way down the side here as well, and also all the way down this side as well. So that should hopefully catch any bass. Plus I have them going all the way across the top down to this side, and then the rest of it is just covered, as you can see. Now the ventilation is on full whack, and you can hear it a little bit, so I'm not going to be able to have that on. But if I turn it down to its minimum, maybe it won't be so bad. But you can feel the cooler air, so at least it should provide some cooling when I'm in here. So when I'm like between takes and, you know, practicing and shit like that, then I can put the ventilation on. So where you are now, I don't know if you can hear the ventilation at all. I can now because I'm right underneath it, but where you are, so I'm here, I can hear it a little bit, so I don't think with my microphone, with the Neumann TLM103, it's going to pick that up for sure. If I had a shotgun mic, then maybe it wouldn't. But the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a test to see what it's like outside and inside. Well, we know what it sounds like inside because we're already inside, but we're going to do a test of like what the difference is, okay? And then obviously later on I'm going to furnish it and put my stuff inside. So I've yet to decide where I'm going to put my mic and my music stand and stuff like this. One thing I have decided is that I'm going to be standing. I'm not going to have a desk in here. I'll have a little stool, but most of the time I'm going to be standing, because I think as a voice artist you need to be, you know, diaphragm, chest, you need to be standing straight. So I'm going to be standing most of the time in here. All right, so now let's go outside, and I'll tell you what, I'll send the beautiful camera lady outside and I will sing very loudly in here, and we can see what it's going to sound like out there. Alright, so now you can hear what it sounds like outside here. I'm now going to close the door and I'm going to sing I'm going to sing as loudly as what I am here, and I will close the door and you will see whether you can hear me or not, because I'm inside my room, and therefore you cannot hear what I'm singing at all. And now I wish I could sing, because I'm crap at singing, but that's why I'm taking singing lessons. And when I take my lessons, you will know whether I can sing or not. And there we go.
I apologise for that awful singing. So here it is, this is what it looks like with my stuff in there, and my next video and my final video on this series will be an actual walkthrough with all my gear.